Welcome back, and to continue this time with our tourism sector and the state's efforts exerted to revive the sector in the past decade. We are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Ahmad Nour, our tourism expert. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and a very good morning.
Good morning, Nermeen, and happy Eid Adha.
Happy Eid to you, sir, and happy 10th anniversary of the 30th of June Revolution. And this week we are going to continue with not only celebrating, with also shedding more light on the achievements realized on the ground through the past decade. And this time we are talking about tourism. How do you see the efforts exerted by the state, sir, to revive this vital sector after the 30th of June Revolution 2013, I'm sorry.
Thanks for that we can notice nowadays after 10 years that we reached to a number of tourists. I hope that this year will be more than the best numbers that we reached in 2010. 14.7. I think that this year will be more than 15 million, inshallah, after 10 years of the revolution of 30 of June 2013. So we suffered enough, after 2011, the number of tourists, which reached to 14.7 in 2011, became 9.8, and after that, up and down from 2012 to 2013. But after 2013, the number not increased so quickly. That there was many problems, but the government and the state and many effort, many campaigns, many things, and also a plan which needed a few years till we reached to a number of tourists again in 2017. We reached to more than 8 million. And 2018, we reached to 11.7 million tourists, and we reached to the big number in 2019, more than 13 million. But after that, we had COVID-19 in 2020, so we reached again, going down again, less than 4 million who came in 20.
But this was a global phenomenon, sir. It's not something which we could evade. Let's return, if you permit me, to, as you mentioned, campaigns or marketing, because marketing is very important. Of course, when it comes to our civilization, the whole world knew about the magic of the Egyptian civilization, but it's our homework. How do you see the campaigns? How do you see participating in different international tourism exhibitions? How do you see having some pieces of our monuments, for example, going to special exhibitions in different states all over the world? How do you see the marketing, let's say, strategies we adopted recently?
I want to continue with you also for this effort of the government that you mentioned, especially after the COVID-19 in 2020. So quickly, with this effort of the government, we reached to 8 million in 2021 and more than 11 million in 2022. And like we mentioned, with all this campaigns that we had, if you remember the campaign of winter in Egypt that reached to a big number of tourists in Europe and in all the world, and the other one, summer in Egypt for Arabian tourists also. So we quickly after that in 21 and 2022, 2021, 2022, we reached to a big number of tourists, again more than 11.7 million. So we had seen the inauguration of many of new museums and also the renovation of other museums and other monuments. We had noticed everywhere in Egypt, the Islamic Art Museum, the 2017, the reopened the Manial Palace in 2015, Museum of Malawi in 2016 that was opened again, a museum of Matruh. That is the first time.
There's, I think, even a museum for vehicles in Sharm el Sheikh, royal
In Sharm el
cars.
Sheikh, the museum and the Orgada, and this is another thinking of the government to connect between the beach museum
entertainment and cultural
museum.
Amen
So
to that.
this is so important to the thinking also of
And
the
to have
government.
also events like the convoy of the mummies. This was also, in my humble opinion, a turning point which attracted the attention of the whole world. If you agree with me on that.
I am agree with you 100% that this event, when we removed the mummies from the Egyptian Museum to the Museum of Egyptian Civilization at Fustat, it was the best propaganda that we had in last not only 10 years, but maybe more than that, because we received many phone and many conference from all the world that they watched this moment when 22 royal mummies removed from Tahrir Square and the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square to the Museum of Fustat, or the Museum of Egyptian Civilization at Fustat. So it was so important, this event. We had many other events, the Avenue of the Ram-headed statues 1 year after this. Also in Luxor, the ram-headed statues, the road of the ram-headed statue between Luxor Temple and the Karnak Temple. This event also we consider the second one after the removing of the mummy of Tahrir
the Golden Parade, yes,
to the Museum of Fustat. But this event of the mummies, it was so important, and we can start after this
it was
event.
really super, and it was a mix of our old civilization with the hymn of Isis by the international soprano. We have Amira Saleem, and with the maestro Nader Abbasi, also an international a musician who is that respected all over the world and led a lot of orchestras all over the world too. So it was a mix between our modern and ancient history. By all means, it was super. But also, sir...
And also something important that this, the time itself was so important because it comes in the time of the COVID-19, you know. So this is, it was like by the end of the COVID-19, and the people started to think to go to where, and so it was this event. So all the people, tourists, decided, or many of them decided to come to Egypt after this big event that
it really showed even our respect to our kings or to our pharaohs. The president was there and keen to salute the mummies of our pharaohs when they were moving from Al Tahrir to Al Fustat. Sir, let me go to something which was really important and also attracted the attention of the whole world when, for example, Pep Guardiola decided to come here and to have his vacation in Egypt, invited by one of our Egyptian tours makers. Before Guardiola, Tom Hanks was here, and after both a very famous German TikToker, Nour, was also here, and he visited a number of places, had many videos in what we call free propaganda for Egypt. How do you see this way, or this, let's say, relatively new way of having this propaganda via celebrities who decided that Egypt is their favored destination?
It is so important, this thinking, and for example, the last one, Guardiola, when he came to Egypt with his family, and they decided, because I know my friend who invited him and his company, I don't like to mention the name because maybe it will be like propaganda, but it was a challenge because many others, at least two other countries also were going or thinking to invite him to visit their countries, but with the best organization that we had for this journey of Guardiola in Egypt, for this Egyptian guide who invited and who saw that during his company, and they make the best program and for Guardiola and his family. And before, like you mentioned, we had Tom Hanks, we had Ronaldinho also besides the pyramids. Many of these famous names that each one has thousands or millions of followers.
Millions of followers,
in all the
yes.
world, not thousands, millions of
Yeah.
followers in all the world. So you can think that each one will, we know that our civilization and our culture and our history, but this is the propaganda and this is the marketing, and this is the new thinking of marketing that will help us to reach to the numbers that the government are thinking to reach to 30 million. I think that this year, I would like to speak by the end of this year to repeat this number, that inshallah this year we will reach to a number more than 15 million.
Inshallah.
I would like to mention that in last April 2023, we reached or 1,300,000 tourists came to Egypt and visited Egypt. If we will continue, inshallah, we will be more than 15 million, and we will reach to 30 million like the plan in few
And
years.
we deserve. Egypt deserves. Mr. Ahmad Nouruddin, our tourism expert, thank you very much for your input, sir. You're always an added value to our programs. Happy Eid once again, and we are going to leave you with a promise to see you in more episodes of our programs on